Well, that's just great. Still no answer. Maybe just one single clue, but still no one knows what is going on between Siggy, and something tells me we should just drop it and accept that he's become a bad guy. Nah, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. While there is definitely no answer out there, we have only gotten two answers, and that is whatever happened to him is not the Siggy they knew. Meaning that this is not just some, oh, I was evil all along, or I had changed my mind of it, everything else. No, it's literally just a rewriting personality, like the old Siggy is completely gone, like he was eliminated, something like something took over his body, or whatever. Of course, that still doesn't answer the question on when did he have time to construct the Dark Stars. But as something tells me, that is gonna be answered never, or perhaps in the final arc. The Angry Anime fan here, the semi-retired despair viewer, once again only with Eden Zero, chapter 1-4. Yes, chapter 104. Also, one of the rarest things that Hiromashima has ever done. Hiromashima is no stranger to fan service and even less to worth effect. But I have to say that maybe this is one of the first time he combines all of those into one scene. Elsie has a bath together with Rebecca and Homura, which is to Rebecca a little bit freaked out. And then she even says that naked bonding is the best way to build a friendship. Isn't this some? I think I've heard this sort of thing once before, and it was not from a Hiromashima project, mind you. But whatever is the fact that it seems that she is adamant of building the friendship, even though she said they were going to be strangers. I don't really know what she's thinking, but whatever. And then, of course, Homura stands up, even though smoke does conceal her naked parts. She once again says that I would like to challenge you to a duel, and unlike what Rebecca says, that she accepts. But Elsie is not even putting on a single guard. So Homura tries to attack, and to everyone's surprise, she blocks the sword with her toe. And that is what I mean by saying that this is just gotta be one of the strangest way Hiromashima's ever done the Wolf effect. Because not only did he do the Wolf effect, but showing that Elsie is more powerful than Homura by blocking the sword. He did it in a way where Elsie blocked the sword naked while with her toe. I have never seen a Wolf effect moment like that. I know we were gonna get a scene just to show that Elsie is Elsie and she is powerful, but this was unexpected. Even more unexpected when she actually managed to throw Homura naked and all with her toe, and then managed to grab the sword and standing up over Homura, who admits defeat immediately. Although Elsie still says that you are a good fighter. I don't really know if I call that real flair or not. But let's see if Homura can motivate to get stronger. Of course, Rebecca don't want anything like that. As she says before, I've never seen anyone grovel nude before. I think we too were pretty surprised. Naked moments in a very unique way. And so they finished off their moments, only to see Shiki in a little bit of sad moment, still waiting for them. Of course, Homer and Rebecca don't really like that, but Elsie, however, she doesn't care. Given to the fact that who her character model is based on, I actually think we should not be surprised by that. Her character model is after fairy tales Erza Scarlet, and she was noted to be very shameless when it comes to nudity. And so Elsie's the same. As Shiki demands to know what I know about Grandpa, Elsie says the Siki is not going anywhere. because according to her, the CC is connected to everywhere in the cosmos. Well, that means I have no freaking idea. But well, whatever. We gathered in the collection things, and now Elsie has gathered together two of her crewmates. And unfortunately, we only know the name of one of them, and it's the mole of Gia, Jesse. Either way, it turns out that yes, Elsie knows the four darks, no, star shines, cause, and the reason why she is feeling great gratitude, sorry, towards Siggy is that she came from a planet that was made devastated by war, and mm, she aimlessly wandered the cosmos even as a young girl until the ship that was the Eden Zero rescued her. And for her, the Eden Zero crew became the first family she ever had. So that means Siggy was basically her adopted father. He even mentioned that Shiki was on that ship too, and she even changed his diaper. In a way, I still don't exactly know what we can classify Elsie as in a way, but I think we could classify her as a blue and orange anti hero in this scenario. Not a heroic figure by any means, but she is an ally of the Eden Zero crew. At least that's what it looks like. Even saying that she changed Chiki's diaper. In a way, you could always say that she is being like the cool big sister to Shiki. When they reached this sector, then Siggy took the space pod to Graham and left the ship to Elsie, because Elsie, even as a child, was already equal to Valkyrie, who was said to be the strongest of the Starshines. Which is very shocking. I guess that just further shows just how strong she is now. However, it turns out the reason why Elsie turns to piracy was simply because, well, she couldn't operate a machine for the life of her. I mean, if her adopted family was basically the four-star shines, then how is that possible? Either way, she couldn't get a hang on how Eden Zero worked, as which went into a cold slumber. And when she ran out of provisions, she began to get to every port and steal everything, and that's how she became known as a pirate, which is the title of this chapter. The woman that they called a pirate. The reason why is because, well, she decided to plunder because she didn't get provisions. And she's basically very proud of that. So that's what I'm saying, that we shouldn't exactly call it completely heroic. She did what she did to survive, and she did it with no remorse. She was even proud of that. So that is why I'm saying that she may not actually be a necessarily good one. And eventually she became what Russian says. But then Wise brings up something very interesting. If a pod was used to get Siggy and Shiki to Granbel, what happened to it? And according to which she have a theory. She believes it was Pino who used the pod to leave Granbel. Again, we don't know Pino's history because her memory was wiped. But the thing is, Shiki did build Pino. We don't know when he built Pino, but which surmises that maybe Pino was built on Granbel when Shiki was being raised, and then Pino used the pod to leave Granbel. But why? That is the thing. It's a very cute scene here when the others say that we'll fix your memory up someday. I'm thinking that Pino is beginning to have worry about her memory, because when Siggy was talking to her, it was almost like her memory was being rewritten, everything else over there. But she managed to overcome it. Makes me beg the question though. Perhaps Pino's memory loss is not just something that was meant to be in the plot. It is actually something that was meant to happen. And what I mean by that is, perhaps her memory holds the key of knowing how to stop this. Because if Pino was constructed on Granbel when Siggy was there, and then Pino somehow used the pod to leave, that could either mean three things. Either she stole that pod from Siggy, Siggy told her to take this pod to leave her, and he told her to leave that pod, but to find something. Because the biggest question is why? If that is the case, why would she leave Grambel? As Rebecca herself says, she somehow ended up where Professor Wise, who fixed her, who told him that her master was the Demon King. And then somehow she ended up 50 years in the past of that planet of Norma, although she herself was completely unharmed. So yeah, it is. I have a feeling there's a connection there. Either way, Elsie explains that she went back to Grambel after delivering the ship to Shiki, but when she did, she detected that something was wrong with Siggy. She detected that something that wasn't Siggy was inside of him, ether. She detected ether inside of Siggy, but that was not the ether of the Siggy she knew. She called it something dark, evil ether. So she left behind a skull fairy, a strange thing, which is how she knew how Shiki and gang was in trouble. So again, no one knows, not even Elsie knows why Siggy became the way it is. But these words seem to suggest that, as I said in the beginning, it wasn't the Siggy we know. It is someone else. Is this? But again, it still doesn't answer the question of where did the dark stars come from if this is not Siggy? Because that would actually imply that Eden 1 and the dark stars was constructed way longer before. And then, well, does that mean that Siggy was once evil, became good, then became evil again? Or is there something else? Too many questions, and I hate that. But they all agree on one thing at least. This is not the old Siggy. And this is someone else. So this is their enemy. Moreover, she overheard something that the dark Siggy said when he awakened, and that was, "I will go see Mother," which seems to imply that just as before, Siggy's goal is to find Mother. But it was not exactly known what Siggy's goal was to find Mother before, but he still wants to do that. Now this question is why. Is he planning on making a wish to make all the robots Domini, or is he intending to do something malevolent? In fact, even before this translation came out, some people began to suspect that maybe Mother is the main antagonist of it all. Well, I don't really know anything about Mother, because we have only seen her in one chapter. But the biggest question is, what is going on? Elsie proclaims that she will chase Siggy because she owes Siggy everything. She has to stop him as his friend. And if you want to do the same, Shiki, then follow me. And so Shiki proclaims with a more serious face that we're going after my grandpa. And if he's planning something evil, then I'm going to be the one to stop him. And all of the Eden Zero crew, as true comrades, admits that that's just what they will do. But also Shiki explains that he now has a wish, as we see Grambel completely destroyed from Siggy's attack. Once again, it's just showing how cold he has become. He now has a wish. You don't know if Mother can grant it, but if Mother can grant any wish, then he will wish for Grambel's destruction. And so he proclaims, "We will find Mother, because that is still our goal. And if we run into Grandpa, we'll kick his butt." And so all of the Zero crew proclaims with loyalty they are with him. And we then see actually a shot of Klein and Chris behind of it all. Still don't know if they are going to join the Eden Zero crew, given his personality. I mean, Chris Jin's personality. We should assume no. But Sylph is the one who's saying they all look excited. So we still have them to worry about. I have a feeling that Chris is not going to be so patient anymore, especially since they proclaimed this all. But so they reach Dragonfall. According to Elsie, this whole cosmos is like a sea, and this was just one sector. meaning that traveling through Grandfall is possible, but you need a high-manned ship. And Elsie and the others could do that because they had high-powered things. And now they are near Dragon Falls, where a lot of dragons exist. The Eden Zero was damaged in the fight against Eden 1, but now they have to sail through it to reach the other cosmos. Will they? I have no idea. But the adventure starts now. So yeah, still no answer why Siggy is who we see, but we saw a little bit more of Elsie. Still not exactly know what we can call her personality, but we saw a pretty fan service way of seeing the Wolf effect. That was nice. And we saw power. But also the fact that there may be some implications that Siggy is possessed or something else. You know, I had a theory once. What if Siggy has two personalities, a dark and a light one? And the light one was the one who was in charge for a very long time, but the dark one has been in charge before. Again, we don't know anything. And it's something tells me it's going to be a while to see it. But clear the Dragonfall, and maybe adventure awaits. Give me your thoughts if you have any.